Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Steve. I make web development videos, and recently I got an M3 Pro Macbook Pro, and I've been using it for over a week now full time for my work and for casual use. And I just wanted to give my thoughts on the experience, kind of some updates on things like the fingerprints, and just a general overview or review of the product after a week of use. If you're interested in learning more about web development or the tools or the software that I use to build web development projects, please make sure to subscribe and like the video. It helps me out a lot and motivates me to keep going. But without any further ado, let's get into the video. The first thing that I want to talk about is the thing that makes this laptop interesting. The color. That's the only difference really other than the processor. They came out with this cool black color, and they did so on a night before Halloween at a weird nightly product showcase. And with the darker color usually comes more fingerprints, but I'm happy to report whatever magic they cooked up, it actually works. Something you'll notice here with this video is the fingerprints still appear, but they're more like muted. They're not like super noticeable because they're kind of softened, if that makes sense. So it's not like a very dark black plastic where you can almost make out the fingerprint itself. It's more of like a smudge, which kind of looks better, I think. It makes it less noticeable. I'm definitely impressed with the way the laptop handles fingerprints. And another thing that I wanted to make sure to show was the ports on the side. So with this darker color, you might think that it might scratch off, or there might be some imperfections when you plug things in and out of this laptop. I've been using the left side pretty heavily over the last week, these USB-C ports, and I don't see any scratches at all. This is from today. This is Wednesday, so I've had this laptop for a week and a day, and you tell me I can't see any scratches, so far so good. Let's get into the performance. Now for me, the normal performance, my normal workflow, and the reason why I upgraded to this laptop was because I've been doing more content creation, more things with Final Cut Pro, with Descript, with Affinity Photo, and I usually have all of these apps open at the same time. I'll have a browser window open with 20 tabs for things like documentation or my local build of my website, and then obviously VS Code running with the terminal open, building the website, rerunning it as I make changes. This is my normal workflow, and for the Intel MacBook Pro that I had before this, it was a complete struggle. It was really hard to get everything working the way I wanted without the fans ramping up and sounding like a jet engine, or the spinning wheel of death where my computer would just lock up and I just couldn't work. And I would actually have to restart the computer, start over from scratch, and hope that I could get through what I needed to do before the wheel of death came back. So I'm happy to report now that my workflow is completely smooth. Not only that, the export times of these videos has been cut down pretty substantially. When I made the initial video for this new laptop, I showed a graph showing my export times basically cut in half. But what I didn't realize was the computer was still indexing and downloading things from iCloud and indexing and installing applications in the background, and it's closer to 4 times faster rather than twice as fast. So that's awesome. Yeah, normal workflow stuff, normal building projects and doing content creation. It does all this without breaking a sweat, which is awesome. It's just what I wanted. And just for fun, I decided to open all of my applications in the application folder. I think there's 136, and it was able to actually do it. It did dip into the swap memory at one point, which you'll see here. But overall, it was able to load all of the applications on the computer. I was still able to play a game while it was doing so. And you would never do this in normal use, but it is possible to run all these applications at once. The battery life is improved. The thing I will say about the battery life, it is far improved from my Intel MacBook, but because of the applications and the workflow that I'm using, I do not see anywhere close to an all-day battery life. I get more like 3 or 4 hours, but that's still 2 or 3 times what I would get with the Intel MacBook Pro. If you're doing stuff just like browsing the web and doing YouTube and Spotify, you're gonna get an all-day battery life for sure. But if you're doing heavier stuff, development work, content creative work, you got to just make sure to bring your charger with you during the day, because you will need to charge. You could use this first part of your day plug it in at lunchtime and probably work through the rest of your day fine without it being plugged in. So I'm really happy with my purchase. I really like the color. I don't see any scrapes on the side of the machine. For my workflow, it's a dream. It's perfect. My export times are greatly reduced. The fluidity of just using the computer in general is awesome. And I'm very happy with my purchase. So if you're on the fence, if you're still on the Intel MacBooks and you're noticing slowdowns or you're noticing hiccups with your workflow or what you're using the computer for, I would definitely recommend one of the Silicon Macs. But I will say, if you are able to find a good deal on the M2 line of chips, that might be a better value. I'm not sure a new color would justify a purchase of this M3. And from what I've seen online, the performance difference between the M2 Pro and the M3 Pro is not substantial at all. They're very similar in terms of the single and multi-core performance. So unless you want the absolute bleeding edge of technology, the fastest single core performance in an Apple machine, or unless you really, really want this darker color, you're definitely going to get a better value finding an M2 machine. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this was informative. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're not subscribed to this channel and you're interested in technology and tools to build websites and software and things like that, that's what I do on this channel. So please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.